Hi, welcome to this tutorial. My name is Elvis David and I'm going to take you through how to work with custom S3 buckets and AWS SageMaker. We will begin with an introduction bit where we'll get to understand the need for S3 buckets when working in AWS SageMaker instances, and then we will go to hands-on on how to create S3 buckets, and then we will see the different ways that we can read data from S3 buckets to AWS SageMaker instances. So the first way, which will be using Boto to create a connection, and then we will see how to load data directly from S3 buckets, and then we will see how to mount S3 buckets to AWS SageMaker instances using S3FS as file systems. So AWS SageMaker is a managed service in the AWS public cloud, which is used to create, train, and deploy machine learning models. And when we talk about machine learning, we can't fail to mention about data, because we need to have data to train these models and to be able to deploy these models. And most of the time, this data is private. This data that you are working with is private, such that it's not advised to have it stored in your local computers, because someone can access it, or they can get lost in case of anything happens to this local computer. So the best way to store and work with these data sets is to store them privately in S3 buckets, and you can store any data of any type, from CSV, Pico files, zip files, photos, or videos. And also, this will help you with data privacy and also handling large data sets, because machine learning, in most cases, you will handle a large data sets that are so hard to work with in local computers. So with this bit of background, let's get to hands-on. And the first is, let's log to AWS console. So I hope that you have an account with AWS, so that's it will be easy to follow through. So just I will log in, and after you log in and you see this home page, so search for S3 and click here on S3. It's so easy to create a bucket. You just click on create bucket, and then you are prompted to enter the bucket name, and it should be a globally unique name. So let me name mine SageMaker custom S3, right? So, and then the AWS region, it should be the same region as to where your AWS SageMaker instance is residing in. So we will leave everything default and just click on create bucket. Just a few seconds and it will create the bucket for us. So now let's see how to load, or let's load some data set from our local computer that we will use to work with. So this is maybe the dataset that you want to use to train your machine learning models, or you want to do some analysis, data analysis, or prototyping. So you just click on upload, and then you will add a file. You can also upload a folder. So I'll just upload a file, which is household 2 CSV. It's a CSV file. So this is the destination, just the S3 bucket that we've created. Just click on upload. It will take some few minutes, and yeah, some few seconds, sorry, and it will be uploaded. So we have here our household to CSV file. So we have created an S3 bucket, and we have loaded the dataset that we want to work with in AWS SageMaker instance. So let's head over to AWS SageMaker. SageMaker, click here. I also hope that you have an AWS SageMaker notebook instance, but to create, it's not tough process. You just come here on the left panel and go to notebook and click on notebook instances, and then you click on create notebook instance. So I will not create a new notebook, just use the one that is there, mine that I created. And so here is mine that I had created. So we'll just open Jupyter. It will redirect me to Jupyter Home. Yes, so here is my Jupyter Home, and now let me create a new Python file. Just create conda python 3. So everything is set. You just click here and you will have your Python. This is the advantage of using AWS SageMaker, because it's a service and most of the configurations are done. So we have our Jupyter notebook file. So let's now see how we can work with our dataset that we stored in our S3 bucket while we are here in AWS SageMaker notebook instance. So let's first import the libraries that we will be using. So the first one, import pandas as PD. We will import auto3, which we will use to create a connection. And then one important factor is we need to get our execution role for our AWS SageMaker instance. So when you created, or when you are creating your AWS SageMaker instance, notebook instance, you have an I am role that is attached to it. So we will get it through from SageMaker, or import get underscore execution role. Yes, nice. So we have it. So now let's see the first way of creating a bottle connection. So first I will create a connection with bottle3 dot client. So the client that we are working with, which is F3. Yes, so we have our connection. Then I will just get the content from our client, that's connection using, then list objects. Then we have the bucket, which is equals to the bucket. Have it in a variable bucket, and then we need to have the contents. Yes. So if I run this, I will be sure to get an error because I have not defined this variable. So let's define our bucket. That's our bucket name that we created and uploaded our dataset. So it is SageMaker custom 3. So this is our bucket, right? So now let's run. We run successfully. So when if we can see our content, yes, so we can see our key, which is the household CSV. So now if you have a lot of data sets, you can just be able to access them by let's say for let me see, check on something. Yes, I can say for F info data in content print dot key, and we will see which is the content or the data that we have in our bucket. It's just one file, which is a CSV file, and it's household.csv. Now you can be able to work with this dataset, and you can just run your analysis or use it to train your model. And remember that it's residing, or we just created a connection to our S3 buckets and got this dataset. So this is the first way. Let's see how to the notebook files. Sorry, let me just cancel. So let's see how to just load data directly. So df data frame. So this is our data frame, reading data frame, bd.read. We will use pandas to read directly. Yes. So S3, and we will have our bucket slash our data set. Yes, then close these. Sorry, it should be inside. Yes. So, but remember that we've not created the variable dataset. So let's create our dataset. This is the name of the dataset. So we have household two three do.csv. So we have the variable. Now when we run this, we have our data frame as df. So we can see it, df. Then you can run. Now you can be able to work with it. You can check the shape of the data set. You can run describe. Any more other things that you want to do with your dataset. So this is the second way to working with a dataset that you've stored in S3 buckets. That's reading directly using the pandas library. So that is it. Let's go to the third way. Now let's see how we can be able to mount these S3 buckets as a whole into as a file system to our AWS SageMaker notebook instance. So just I will open the terminal. Open the terminal. Just open the terminal. Yes. So this is the terminal. So run sudo yum update. So remember that we have an article which it's attached to the description of this video, which where you can follow through and you can be able to get these code snippets to run from. So that's where I'm getting these code snippets, because they are in the article. So after that, we will need to install the packages, install the dependencies which we will work with. So I have them installed, but I can run again. Yes, so it's running. Take some time to run, but it's finished. So after that, we will now also install S3. So we will install S3FS Fuse, which is a library that we will use to mount our S3 buckets as a file system. So just install them. You can get the code snippets from the article and run them. Yes, so let's install. Yes, after finished, you can check by running which S3FS, and you can see it's successfully installed. So now the first thing that we need to do is to we need to create authentication of our AWS SageMaker instance to our AWS account to be able to mount it. And then, so you will use the AWS credentials and you will create a file in, let me run sudo, create a file in sudo vim c file is password. File should be password S3FS. S3FS, yes, and put inside it you will put your AWS credentials. So let me put my AWS credentials. Let me get them. I will pause the video and go get them. Yes, so I have them here. So just I have pasted them here. So we have the access ID and also the secret key. So just save this file. Yes. So we also need to create a path to mount point. That's where we will mount our S3 bucket to. So let me see. Yes. So let me head over to SageMaker. And create a library. Call it SageMaker custom S3 data. SageMaker custom S3 data. Right. So we have it. So now we have the path to where we will mount our S3 bucket to, and we've also add the authentication. So one thing that I forgot to do is we need to make change the ownership of these credentials for S3FS, chmod, and 600, and we have PC. That I use sudo. Yes, should work. Yeah, that's right. So now we need to mount, and in mounting we will run this command. That's s3fs the bucket name that we are trying to mount as a file system. Our bucket is SageMaker custom s3, the directory to where we are mounting this bucket. So the directory is home ec. If I'm in the yes, and then our credentials, that's the password, our credentials password file, provide the directory to the credentials that says yes, it's not readable. S3FS password file is not readable. What? So I think I made it readable. Let me try to run with sudo. See, that should work. Yes. Right. So I think it's worked successfully. So now let's head back and see if we have this folder. So we head back to home and try to see. Let me refresh. Try to see if we have this folder. Okay. Let me see. Let me go to back to our terminal and head. So let's head to this folder and see if it's empty or it has mounted successfully. So SageMaker, custom. Is it not CD? Okay. Directory. Oh, why is it not a directory? Yes, so let me run this command to see if it's successfully mounted. You can see here successfully mounted, so I think it's successful. So we have it mounted. We can see that S3FS is the file system. Yes, so um that is it. We have seen the three ways that you can be able to work with your dataset that is stored in S3 while you are in AWS SageMaker instance. So that is it, and thank you for being with me through to the end of this tutorial. Thank you. Bye bye.